Yeah, he
Turkey.
did.
So
Turkey just posted that this morning, wondering if Benavidez can make 168. Maybe he has plans or ideas of maybe trying to match up Benavidez and Terrence Crawford.
No.
No, we ain't doing that fight. Maybe planning on vacating the belts.
No, we ain't gonna vacate the belts. You know, we just gonna sit where we need to sit for a minute, and then, just like I said, get back in the gym and do our thing.
Anis.
And he don't want none.
Benavidez, he's like what, 6'5", 6 something like that. He's a big dude, bro. He's a big dude, man. So I just who knows? Now you got fight announcements now. They got, you know, Rey Mysterio fighting Andrew Tate, and I don't know, just crazy stuff. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
The boxing community went wild after Turki El Sheikh teased on Twitter a potential bout between David Benavidez and Terrence Crawford. Fans began talking as soon as the news dropped, surprised by the prospect of two fighters from opposing weight classes facing each other. The news spread quickly, with analysts and fighters across the board chiming in to share their opinions. Benavidez Sr. did not take long to respond and was obviously not impressed with the proposition. He considered a Benavidez versus Crawford bout an embarrassment to the sport itself, and to him, such a bout doesn't make sense and can only harm the reputation of the sport. He reiterated that actual boxing must be about decent fights between evenly matched weights, not sensationalism-based matchups.
That would be even an embarrassment to me to say, you know, David's too big for Crawford. And I always said that. Plus, you've seen Bo Mack also. They're not interested in David, you know.
Can he still make 168? You seen him now training at second fight at 175?
Yeah, I think he's super young still. I think definitely, I don't think, it would be a little bit hard, but I think he could definitely do 168. We didn't move to 175 because of the weight. We moved because of the opportunities. And he only fought 2 fights at 175. After Anthony Yard, he'll be in shape. And, yeah, he has to work and watch his food and nutrition a little bit more. But, you know, I think he could do 168. But, like, I could be wrong, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, we're here.
David Benavidez agreed himself. He explained Crawford is a great fighter, but that the physical difference and power gap between them would create a mismatch right from the beginning. Benavidez further explained that boxing needs to uphold integrity by having realistic, not fantasy matchups. He emphasized he has nothing but respect for Crawford's success, but their careers should never meet in the ring, particularly with such a huge disparity in physical ability.
David, do you think Crawford will fight you if he beats Canelo?
Nah, I wouldn't fight Crawford. I'm at 175.
Crawford also agreed that the fight wasn't viable because of the extreme disparity in weight. He dismissed the rumors and stated that although he has a huge amount of respect for Benavidez, such a fight would just simply not make sense whatsoever. Crawford also detailed why advancing too far in weight might destroy a fighter's natural rhythm, and he doesn't want to pursue unrealistic challenges just to garner attention or gain more money. His response was level-headed, rational, and demonstrated maturity.
But if you were at 168, when we think about anybody at 168 outside of Canelo, the first name that comes to anybody's mind is David Benavidez. What about the potential for a fight like that?
Oh, like I said, man, that's a big dude. You know what I mean? He ain't even at 168. You know, when you look
right not now, he's at 175. Yeah,
he probably can't even make 168 no more. But when you look at these fights, you know, especially coming up, you gotta be realistic. You gotta, you know, say, all right, you know, how big is this dude really is? Because David Benavidez, he can fight his ass off, you know. But me personally, I believe in my skills and my ability that I can beat anybody.
However, Crawford did comment that the only way this bout would ever be possible if somehow he were to advance all the way up to heavyweight. He said it with a grin, indicating he wasn't serious but was actually teasing the unrealistic demands of fans online. His statement made them chuckle but also forced them to recall the folly of the scenario.
My thing is, Benavidez is a big dude. You know what I mean? Not to say I won't fight him. I fought his brother. You know what I mean? His brother was big when I fought him. But, you know what I mean? Benavidez is a big dude. The only reason why I entertain Canelo is because he's not a big dude. Like, he might be thick, you know what I mean? But he's not a big dude. You know what I mean? Like, Benavidez is like 6 foot something. You know what I mean? Then he gonna come in 190, 200 probably, you know what I mean? Like, you never know. Like, that's a big dude. Like, you know what I mean?
And he's skilled, man.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I might as well go to heavyweight if I fight Benavidez.
Crawford's trainer, B-Mac, was not amused in the least. He quickly closed down all the rumors that involved Crawford for a fight with Benavidez. In his view, it's just media chatter with nothing to it. B-Mac reiterated that the attention of Crawford is still on challengers within his grasp and that he would never jeopardize his fighter's safety just to appease fan fantasy. He even claimed that they have not had a single conversation regarding Benavidez and referred to the rumors as utterly false.
Yeah, he
Turkey,
did.
so-
Turkey just posted that this morning, wondering if Benavidez can make 168. Maybe he has plans or ideas of maybe trying to match up Benavidez and Terrence Crawford.
No.
No, we ain't doing that fight. Maybe planning on vacating the belts.
No, we ain't gonna vacate the belts. You know, we just gonna sit where we need to sit for a minute, and then, just like I said, get back in the gym and do our thing.
Ennis.
And he don't want none.
Robert Garcia also chimed in, and he was also vehemently opposed to the notion. He mentioned that although both fighters are great, this fight would be a mismatch from the beginning. Garcia pointed out that Crawford would be conceding too much size, reach, and power, which would be unfair from the start. He also said that boxing needs to steer clear of these spectacle-oriented kind of fights, since they divert focus from true competitive contests that are important to the future of the sport.
There's no way. Crawford just got the biggest win in his career and one of the biggest wins in history. He doesn't need to go out there and risk. Benavidez is too big, too strong. We don't want to see a champion do so much and accomplish so much and then end his career with a bad choice, a bad fight that he shouldn't take. I wouldn't do it.
Emiliano Vargas spoke up next and offered a somewhat different perspective. He agreed that the fight did not logically make sense, but given the sorts of strained matchups that are occurring in contemporary boxing, anything appears possible. He cited the way contemporary boxing has shifted toward being more entertaining than sporting. Though he believes Crawford versus Benavidez must not occur, he would not be surprised if it did. His remark fanned the debate, having fans split on what boxing is becoming.
Benavidez, he's like what, 6'5", 6 something like that. He's a big dude, bro. He's a big dude, man. So I just who knows? Now you got fight announcements now. They got, Rey Mysterio fighting Andrew Tate and I don't know, just crazy stuff. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
Henry Cejudo and Kamaru Usman also weighed in. Cejudo, who always has a certain bold opinion, stated that he would just love to see the fight take place for entertainment. He feels that good fighters are always capable of making it interesting. Usman, however, was not as certain. He stated that it's nice idea on paper, but practically, it wouldn't be good for either fighter, particularly looking at the physical disparity. Their contrasting opinions fueled further controversy among fans online.
Hear me out here. Kamaru, Terrence Crawford versus the Mexican monster David Benavidez.
I knew it was coming.
He was the mandatory for Canelo.
Oh my God. Relax.
What's up? The scariest guy in the division.
He's not in the division.
He said he could still make 168 pounds. Dude. The reason why he went up because nobody wants to fight him.
That's a big dude. And to be honest, Terrence Crawford's 37 years old.
It's about merit. Could I get to the generational talent, as he said, with Manny Pacquiao? He's an 8-division world champ.
If it ain't no big name, Terrence, do what you do, bro.
And legend trainer Teddy Atlas provided a more tempered opinion. He stated technically the bout can occur, but only if Crawford really wanted it. Atlas thinks that should Crawford be intent on it, he could transition safely and adjust, but it would be a process. Nevertheless, he warned, it's an enormous risk and may not be worth taking. Atlas said that there are certain battles that sound great but aren't that bright, and it could be well one of them.
That I always worry when you put that much muscle on Bud to come back down, because it's hard to lose muscle. But he's smart, and his people are so smart. And by the way, they deserve credit. What a game plan. They deserve credit. They always have a good game plan. Bo Mack and his crew, always. But at the end of the day, he's smart. He's not going down too far. He's going down 8 pounds. He could do that and still not hurt himself physically. So it's purely up to him.
Later, there were whispers circulating that Crawford would be facing Jaron Ennis instead, but Crawford put a stop to those personally. He said that everybody wants to spin things and make things up, but nothing is true until his lips say it. He reiterated that Ennis is a skilled boxer, but currently he's not on Crawford's radar. Crawford asserted clearly that he selects fights thoughtfully and does not pursue names merely for hype or headlines.
Would you consider going back down to 154 and face Jaron Ennis, the guy who prepared Canelo Alvarez for this fight?
Nope. I ain't going down 154.
The conversation eventually turned towards something considerably more realistic, a rematch between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Fans immediately became hyped, and even Canelo himself acknowledged that he'd always be willing for one. Canelo stated that if Crawford felt like having another attempt, he'd be more than willing at any time. The potential for the rematch again sparked the legacy debate, with people questioning whether Crawford could reverse the result this time.
I feel great to share the ring with great fighters like him. And if we do it again, it's gonna be great. But you know what? I'm glad to share the ring with great fighters. And I'm glad to be here. I already did a lot in boxing. I already accomplished a lot in boxing. My legacy is already there. And I still taking risks because I love boxing. You know, Crawford is a great fighter, a skilled fighter. And I get the credit to Crawford, obviously. And I feel great. I still feel the same.
Robert Garcia also weighed in. He stated that Canelo would likely win again if they were to fight, but he would still want to see it because both fighters are so skilled. Garcia said Crawford would have to come in harder, faster, and with a better strategy if he wished for anything other than another loss. To him, this was the type of fight that boxing should have. Name fighters, high stakes, and genuine competition among top-tier fighters.
He needs to make a change, I think. I would love to see the rematch. I think in the rematch, if he comes back with the hunger that he needs, he could beat Crawford. Because Crawford, you know, is very talented, but I think Canelo could beat him. Canelo's strong, man. Canelo's strong. Canelo could take a good punch. So I think he could just go and don't respect his punch and throw punches even though you're gonna get hit, but don't give up. Keep going until you hit him.
Henry Cejudo and Kamaru Usman also gave their opinions on the rematch possibility, and both were of opposite views once more. Cejudo agreed with Canelo that his strength and size would still prove too much for Crawford. Usman, though, had faith in Crawford's capacity to adjust and make the changes needed to emerge victorious. Their differing views further polarized the fans, making the so-called rematch one of the hottest topics in combat sports history.
Where does Canelo go from here, Henry?
He needs to rematch. If I'm Canelo, I want to rematch Terence Crawford. He got schooled, bro. He got outboxed by Terence Crawford. And I know that he's itching to get that one back. The first time he fought Triple G, he came back the second time and he legit beat Triple G.
Once in a lifetime fight. It doesn't need to be a rematch. I think Bud would do worse the next fight. He would put it on Canelo a little worse than that, because that style of fight, I don't think he beats someone like Terence Crawford. But if I'm Terence Crawford, of course I'll fight him again. But this time, I'm the A side. I think Terence Crawford is going to be more confident next time, knowing that I can punch with this guy. I can take his shot. I'm faster.
He fought Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
He didn't do what the last two did, just run. He threw at him. I'm going to call your bluff, bro. I'm going to fight you.
Virgil Ortiz concluded with a basic remark. In his opinion, the rematch would conclude just as the initial did. He feels that Canelo's ring IQ, strength, and experience are a notch higher. Ortiz stated that it is not disrespect, but a matter of fact. For him, Canelo would never be caught up to. Nevertheless, the idea of this mega fight once again has everyone abuzz.
I don't think it would be any different. Canelo said it himself, he couldn't figure it out. I mean, it was just, like I said, Crawford fought a perfect fight. I think both sides could make some adjustments, but I think it would be the same result.
And that's where we'll leave it. If this bout ever materializes, it will shake the world of boxing again. But until then, it's all dreams and speculation, so be sure to hit subscribe and stay tuned, because in boxing, anything goes and you don't want to know what's next.